The National Education Policy 2020 emphasizes uh, the Indian knowledge system and Indian centric education. And it gives a hope that if we inculcate the Indian knowledge system in our studies and in our learning during schooling and higher education, our students will be learning with full knowledge, and it will improve the education system. And what I feel is that the question lies before us is that whether there is something called a knowledge which is Indian or Russian or American, or whether knowledge has a regional identity and affiliation. To this question, it has been proved for the past several years by several philosophers and scientists all around the world that there is no knowledge which is regional, but any knowledge which springs from any region must meet the universal necessity. That is the criteria to claim something as knowledge. The universal necessity means the knowledge that works for somebody should work for me, or that works for me should work for everyone else. So the perception of that knowledge and the reasoning on that knowledge should remain same all around, and that universal character is the necessity for to claim something as knowledge. So at the outset, I would like to say that there is no such thing like a knowledge which is regional. And in that case, there is no Indian knowledge. And knowledge, even if it is developed in India or produced in India, must be universal only. But the knowledge produced from certain backgrounds, which always are social or cultural background, and those settings are very much important for the propagation or production of the knowledge, and because it is related to human experience. So in that way, every region has a relativity and relevance to a knowledge, and in that way we can call there is something called Indian knowledge system. But the question is whether that knowledge is the collective representation of the social units or individual members of the society or not, is the question. When the whole Indian society is segregated in terms of different watertight compartments of social units, and where there is no exchange of ideas and collective reasoning or synthesis of reasoning doesn't happen place in the Indian social structure. Given this situation, how can we claim that the knowledge that we claim as Indian knowledge is reflective of all walks of life in this country? So this is the major question, because there are the so-called perpetrators of the Indian knowledge system, advocates of Indian knowledge system, always tries to foster the tradition of the Indian society. Whether the question is the tradition of the specially cultivated community or the dominant social unit, or the experience or the tradition of the majority of the people or not. That is the question. So if the knowledge system represents the majority of the people and the reasoning and the collective reasoning of all walks of life, then we can accept it as Indian knowledge system. If it doesn't, then if it belongs to some social dominant units or some vested groups or some specially cultivated communities, and if those traditions are attached to that knowledge, then what about the tradition of the others? So in that way, how can we claim that this Indian knowledge system claimed by these vested groups or the representative is the representative of the whole Indian society? So this is the question. So to answer this question, we need to have a lot of deliberations, debates, and discussions happen in this country. And in the line of thought, the All India Safe Education Committee is planning to organize a webinar on 26th January, 4 p.m. on the Indian knowledge system, where the proponents on this topic, like Professor Sumitra Banerjee and Professor Kumkum Rai, are going to be the keynote speakers. I think that they would come out with beautiful articulations on this topic. I think we all will be benefited if we join. Thank you very much.